Hey there, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Today's the day. Today's the day that I get to go in and get fitted for radiation. I know, it seems a little insane to be very excited to be going for radiation. Believe me, I'm super anxious. I'm scared. There's a lot of emotions happening today. But overall, I'm very, very grateful that I have a next step forward. I was talking a lot about hope and the power of hope this week with my cancer friends, and to me, there's just nothing as powerful as being told, like, okay, we have a next step. And then, even more excitingly, last night I got a message from my team, and the radiologist is going to start. And then, if you remember, last week I had a bunch of appointments: lung surgeon, surgeon that does ablation, surgeon, the radiologist, blah blah blah. Well, the ablation surgeon said he's going to tag in. He's going to tag in after radiation is done and see if he can pick off a few of the lesions in my lungs. So yay! I'm extraordinarily grateful for this. But I also know that it's a lot. It's a lot for your mind to deal with. I'm not as scared because I know what's going to happen. I had radiation, if you remember, in December. I had a first round of radiation to see if it would work, how my body would respond. The testing last week showed that it's responding well, so we can move forward. Yay. Yeah, I'm focusing this morning on I'm making my breakfast, by the way, sorry. Some small things that will keep me going, because I'm on a roller coaster this week of, last week was so intense with all the appointments that I had. And then, if you remember, a very dear friend got diagnosed with stage 3 stomach cancer, and I just can't shake the utter sadness that I have been volunteering for an organization that puts together cancer patients, right? Mentor and mentee, so that you can share maybe best practices or, things that you've learned, or anything really to be there for each other. And, I talked to a woman last week. She's 32 years old, stage 4 cancer, and I mean, devastating. But my mind goes into, here's the plan. We'll talk about your emotions. Let's talk about your nutrition. Let's talk about your physical. Let's, I've got a plan. But with my friend, I was just stumped last week. I'm not stumped. I just was so overwhelmed by the sadness of welcoming him into this world of terror. And, no matter how good your days are, no matter how many little times a day that you're able to block out that you and forget about cancer, those few glorious moments, you still live. You have an alien inside of you that's trying to kill you, and it's mentally exhausting. Recognizing that is why I've put into play for myself. How do I ride this roller coaster? Big appointments last week. How do I put little things into place? And one of the things, gosh, sorry, I need to keep making my breakfast because I need to go. One of the things, this past Sunday, my wife and I did a fun run in Chicago. That's right, you heard it right. We did what's called the Shamrock Shuffle. It's a welcome to spring run in Chicago. I don't know, it's ridiculous, like 10,000 people. And it's a run that my wife and I and friends have done for years. I remember the first year, this is my claim to fame. Got my picture in the paper and everything because my friends and I ran this race, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And most of us, everyone showed up either drunk or hungover. It's a Shamrock Shuffle. Like it's exactly what you expect for Chicago. Everyone dressed in green outfits and crazy. But I ended up being the last one in this race. And this is how I got my picture in the paper, because they took my picture with the cop cars rolling behind me, like shutting it down as I come into the finish line. And the thing was, yeah, I probably would have been last anyways, or maybe like fifth to last. Like this is when I was first learning how to run. It was the first, did my first marathon, I think a year later. But I stopped off at a local bakery to pick up cinnamon raisin bread for our brunch that we were going to do afterwards. And so here's me with my 2 loaves of cinnamon raisin bread coming in. And so that's my claim to fame. It was really, really glorious to be able to do that race last week with our friends Alana, you remember from Paris, and her husband Jeff, and my wife, of course. It was a lovely day. And that really helped me to get rid of or let go a lot of that energy from the week before. And then, of course, prepare for chemo the next day, right? Like I said, roller coaster. And yeah, it's just weird to me. Like on Sunday, I'm feeling great and strong and having this beautiful, wonderful day. And then the next day, I literally can't get out of bed until really yesterday morning, right? And then, as you can see, I'm back. I've come out of my chemo fog, and now I'm entering and going to have to go into the radiation. So it's like, whew. How do I regulate that? Well, one of my things today, just a very small thing. Check this out. This is so cute. A friend of mine knows that I have a constant runny nose. And when I say constant, I'm surprised they haven't wiped it right now. And that comes from chemo. There's no nose hairs. So she, for my birthday, gave me a couple of these beautiful, you know what I'm talking about? Yep, because I can't find the words. Yeah. So every time I pull this out of my pocket today, I'm going to feel the love of my friend and the support. Well, it's just a little thing. Along with, I've got my music playlist. I've got my game plan to go in for the radiation fitting. I know that's gonna crush me with a ton of energy. I'm gonna be really, really hyper. The radiation department is, sadder to me than the chemo center. The chemo center is sad and really difficult, and I was sharing that with my friend last week, that when he starts treatment, mental game is gotta be priority, because you walk into these places and you see all these sick, dying people, and you're one of them. But in the chemo center, there's people like myself that at this point I'm doing okay and I look kind of normal, healthy, and then there's very sick people. So you can kind of like, I don't know, you can ride that wave of it's not. You walk into the radiation department and everybody is like a shell of themselves. They're barely able to sit, and it's just so, I feel like I'm walking into a land of zombies, and it's just so sad. So that's why I've got, I'm gonna take my time this morning. Got a little bit of my sense back, so I'm gonna drink a lovely tea, have a lovely breakfast, and jump in my car, play my playlist, and find a way to dance into radiation. And afterwards, because I have to go for blood work every Friday, the blood work nurses, my infusion nurses, not infusion, blood work, they're just so lovely. They bring me so much joy. We laugh together, we dance together every single time I'm in there, because I'm in there every single week for 3 years. But I intentionally am going to go to them after the appointment, so that I can, again, find some good stuff. And then maybe, if timing works out, my wife is actually in her office today. She is part of the world where her world has said, COVID is over, no matter what your circumstances are, and you must participate. And today's the first day for her to have to do that, to sit in a conference room with 45 unmasked people that are untested, and she has no idea if they're going to give her something that she's going to bring home to her stage 4 wife, right? So I'm hoping that the timing works, that I can go pick her up and we can maybe go out to the lake and both release some energy today. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna let you go so that I can have my breakfast and get myself ready. We got this, right? Got this. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.